Hey everyone, welcome back to She Tried It. Today's video is the result of something that's been in the works for a few weeks now. Over the last few projects, I've been testing out a few new types of crochet hooks. All the hooks mentioned in today's video were gifted to me by WeCrochet, who is also sponsoring today's video. I've mentioned on multiple occasions where I got my crochet hooks from that I've used for every project prior to this little experiment. But if you're new here, just know that all these hooks are completely new to me. I want to share some pros and cons for each hook. If there are cons, I will share them. If there aren't, I have nothing to say. Anyways, let's just get started. My crochet hook experiment journey, I used the Radiant Wood regular crochet hook set. These hooks are exclusively sold at WeCrochet. The 8 hook sizes that come in the set include a 3.5mm, 3.75mm, 4mm, 4.5mm, 5mm, 5.5mm, 6mm, and a 6.5mm. I personally used these hooks when I was completing the finish shawl. If you missed that video, I'll be sure to link it below. These hooks retail for about $39.99 on the WeCrochet website. However, they are constantly on sale, so it's not very likely that you'd have to pay that price. If you're a garment crocheter like myself, those sizes should cover most, if not all, the sizes you need. These hooks had an extremely deep groove to allow for precision control over each stitch. Also, we can't ignore how absolutely gorgeous these hooks are. If you're someone who likes to show flat lays of your whips and your hook, this hook is perfect for that. It sounds so strange to say, but there's no denying that this hook is extremely photogenic. I have to give a quick disclaimer first. My hooks that I use typically have a rubber grip on them. I feel like with most things, especially with crochet hooks, it's very easy just to fall in love with a certain style of hook. That's definitely happened to me. I tend to go for hooks with a grippy handle because I find them to be the most comfortable. If you don't have that preference, this is something you can totally ignore. Another con about these hooks is that I didn't see the sizes of the hooks listed on the hook. It's only on the package of the hooks. I might have missed it, but I checked pretty thoroughly and I didn't see anything. With that being the case, I highly suggest keeping these hooks in their original packaging so you don't get the sizes confused, or making sure you have a tool to measure the hook size if these are the hooks you add to your collection. Like I mentioned before, I use these hooks to complete the finish shawl. For that shawl, I use Hawthorne tonal hand-painted yarn. This yarn was 80% fine superwash Highland wool and 20% polyamide nylon. While that yarn is by no means rough, it also didn't fall into the slinky or bamboo category of yarn. After watching other YouTube videos and learning a bit more from others about wooden crochet hooks, that's really what these hooks are good for. These are go-to hooks for projects with super silky yarn that you may need a little bit more friction for. While I have used those kind of yarns in the past, that's not what I used to test these hooks out on. Because I wasn't aware before, it's likely that I didn't test these hooks out with an ideal yarn. Either way, silky yarns aren't something I use regularly. I don't think these are hooks I need in my collection. If you're someone who's in need of some high quality wooden hooks, feel free to snag these exact ones in my Mercari shop linked below, or head over to the WeCrochet website. I have a direct link to these exact hooks in the description box below. Experiment was the WeCrochet Bright Crochet hook set. These hooks are also sold exclusively on the WeCrochet website. There are 9 sizes included in this set, and those are 2mm, 2.5mm, 3mm, 3.5mm, 4mm, 4.5mm, 5mm, 5.5mm, and 6mm. I used these hooks when I was completing the Vibe ribbed pullover. Don't forget to check that video out also if you missed it. These hooks retail for a whopping $9.99. Needless to say, these hooks are extremely budget friendly, and again, the sizes cover most of your crafter needs. These hooks have the grip handle that I love oh so much, and if I'm being honest, these hooks remind me a lot of what I was using before I started this little experiment, so it felt very familiar and comfortable to me. These hooks are perfect for any beginner who doesn't want to go broke but wants to have a nice toolbox of hooks they may need to complete projects. Another thing I really liked is that each hook size has a unique color. Sometimes I use the hook size suggested in the pattern, but other times I need to go up or down a size to meet gauge. I try to write down what size I use, but I don't always remember. But when I use hooks like this, I typically do remember what color I was working with. It's a small thing, but I personally find colorful hooks to be extremely handy to work with for that reason. There really are no cons to these hooks, and I was planning on keeping them, but then I got my hands on the hook set number 3. So if you would like these awesome hooks, again, check my Mercari store or direct link in the description box below. Not test out crochet hooks without testing out one of the most highly praised crochet hooks out there, the Clover Amour crochet hook set. Every time I see a maker get their hands on some Clover hooks, they make it seem like their whole world has changed. Me, being the cheap person that I am, could not figure out how these hooks could be so much better than the ones I previously mentioned. These hooks and the WeCrochet hooks literally look almost identical. The only real difference I could find is that the hook part of the WeCrochet hook is shiny and the hook part on the Clover hook is a bit more matte. Either way, this hook set comes with 10 hook sizes, and those are 2.25 millimeter, 2.75 millimeter, 3.25 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter, 3.75 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 4.5 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 5.5 millimeter, and 6 millimeter. These are the priciest hooks in the bunch, coming in at $76.95. Again, you typically find these for a great deal on the WeCrochet website. I personally started using these hooks on the Gertie cardigan and have been using them to crochet everything since then. These hooks have the cushion grip that I enjoy, but more than that, these hooks literally glide through stitches like butter. You don't realize how smooth hooks can glide through stitches until you use these. It's something that once you try it, it's hard to go back to what you used before. I thoroughly enjoyed using these hooks. A weird thing that I noticed with these hooks is that I'm able to crochet laying down. I don't know what it is, but with most hooks, I'm completely unable to do this. Something about how well these glide through make crocheting laying down effortless. The only con for these hooks is really the price. I understand that $76.95 is not a price some people are capable or willing to pay for crochet hooks. I completely get that. If you find this price to be too steep, rest assured that the WeCrochet hooks I previously mentioned are a great backup in my opinion. However, if you feel like you really need to step up your crochet hook game, these are absolutely the ones to go with. Again, they will be linked in the description box below. That's all I have for today. Don't forget to check the description box below for all the things I mentioned in this video. I loved having the chance to experiment with different hooks. And thank you again to WeCrochet for sponsoring this video and gifting me these hooks. Let me know if you've ever used any of these hooks before, and feel free to share what your thoughts were while using them. See you in my next video. Bye!